Rock and Roll Podcast, a weekly comedy history venture where my older brother and I aim to teach you all something that maybe you don't know about.
Comrade, sit down, because it's Daddy's turn again. This is getting less exciting every time I do it. It's really the suspense wears off. It's almost a regular occurrence at this point, but this time is Daddy's turn, guys. So
you've done more episodes than I have in the past 2 months.
Well, you had to go ahead and graduate, and I had to go very deep down a very dark path down communist Twitter. And that's a thing, so just bear with us, guys. That being said, this episode is brought to you by David Painter. Hi, David. How you doing? Hi, Painter. How's it going? Brought this story to my attention. This story is also credited to Bernardito, a random man on Twitter. Not on Twitter, on Reddit. Even worse. It's bad. It's bad times. Good work, Bernardino. You wrote something very good, but the internet is evil, and I'm therefore taking it and making it mine now. That's how appropriation works. Welcome aboard. There are primary source documents. There's all sorts of stuff going on for Bernardito. Bernardito's kind of doing my job. I think I found a new route to doing this podcast where I'm just going to steal other people's stuff and claim it's mine.
That's good. And well, we can get away with it if we call them friends of the show.
We
can. Friend of the
show, Bernardito. Research assistant, and by research assistant, I mean research master Bernardito, was bringing this to us. Spencer, what do you know about Chile?
They've crafted one of the best Mexican Tex-Mex food chains in America. I believe they have everything to do with that. There's some kind of...
Now, was that a Chili's reference? Because I thought it was a Chevy's reference. And I don't know if Chevy's is nationwide or if it's just a Missouri thing, but you were going with Chili's, right? You were going with Chili's.
Chevy's and Chili's are interchangeable. I think they both have a red pepper for their icon. I could be wrong.
You are.
Well, it's happened before. Ideally not on this show where I'm supposed to be a fact man.
Not today, you're not. Today you're the learny boy.
You know what else I know about Chile?
What's that?
In South America. Extent of my knowledge is over.
Good. It was also the extent of my knowledge, because let's be real, this is America, topical reference, Childish Gambino. God dang, that video was good. Oh, it's so good.
It was a pretty good video. It's a pretty good video. It took me on a journey. I felt like I had to pull up the lyrics, but really that didn't change much.
No.
It was just kind of a visual experience.
It's a very good experience. If you have not watched that video multiple times, go do it right now, people. It is more important than this podcast.
It really got me into politically charged modern rap just for the past 2 years. It's good. It's good.
And Spencer's having his cultural awakening. Give it 2 weeks and he will just be rattling off to Pimp a Butterfly lyrics to us. Oh, man. Wait till he finds Kendrick. All right. So, Chile. No one knows about it. It's America. We don't teach people about other countries, especially South American ones. So that being said, did you know that there was a time where we almost went to war with Chile?
I'd believe it. I feel like our bread and butter is trading guns to bad people and then starting coups in countries that the citizens can't name.
Really, really is. And I wish it was more surprising. Yeah. This incident, though, is chock full of fun. So strap in, chuckle up, let's go.
I'm chuckled up.
What is known now as the USS Baltimore incident, or just the Baltimore affair, depending on how you wanna cite it, is essentially the only notable thing other than the 1973 coup that happened in Chile that I could ever find. That being said, I'm sure Chile is a delightful place. Any explanation for this is going to require a whole bunch of context, because as we all know, none of us know what's going on in Chile. And if you do, you're better than I am, so don't run.
Well, now I have an assumption they're on the coast because a boat incident has come up.
Also, yes, now here's the problem. I should have researched this better, but that's not really my jam. I think Chile's the really long, skinny one, right? Chile's the one that's just basically the whole left side of South America is just Chile.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I think it's that one. I think it's that one, yes. That being said, our story begins, as all good stories do, with a bunch of American sailors on shore leave.
Okay, yeah, they're good. They're going to make responsible decisions.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
The year is 1891, which means they're old-timey sailors on shore leave. Even better.
I feel like sailors were the only people back in the 1890s that made the most irresponsible decisions.
It seems to be that, yes. When they weren't fighting piracy, they were probably doing something irresponsible. And this irresponsible...
Well, it was a freedom you earned. You could get your tattoos, you could curse, you could spit in public.
Yes.
If you were a boatman, you were respected. You could get away with those cultural stigmata.
The year is 1891. These boat boys are on shore leave. And if you don't know much about Chile, like I didn't, you may not know that there was a civil war in Chile around this time. It had just ended,
Definitely
actually.
didn't. Definitely had no idea.
Definitely had no idea. Well, the Chilean Civil War was definitely a thing that was wrapping up. It's kind of why the USS Baltimore was there. It was supposed to be protecting North Americans during the locals fought it out, because, you need Big Bad America there to help. Now, other context.
Well, it sounded like Big Bad America was just there to spectate. Who were they fighting for?
Kind of, and that's also the thing. This is kind of right at that fun intersection where we kind of see America become itself. Like America sees the guitar in the window, and you flash back, and it's young Paul McCartney, and now we know what our dream is. We hadn't yet really perfected fucking up the rest of the world and claiming that we were trying to, do a great thing by it. So, that being said, 1891, Civil War, we're hanging out. On October 16th, 1891, the USS Baltimore was in the harbor of Valparaiso. I've desperately tried to get that word right. I'm pretty sure I'm good. Someone correct me and tell me I'm wrong. Valparaiso is the largest port city in Chile. 117 sailors from the USS Baltimore were granted 24-hour shore leave, and this is a quote directly from our good friend Bendito, unsurprisingly got up to no good.
So now shore leave is like you get your 48-hour lunch break from being on a boat, right?
No, it was a 24-hour shore leave, which I just said. So by definition, not 48 hours. But yes, as far as I understand shore leave, it's 24 hours to fuck off the boat and go do something awful to the locals of the place that you're at.
And go appreciate gravity the way it was meant to be appreciated.
Yes. As you do, a fight broke out outside of the True Blue Saloon, which is the most fun named thing I could ever think of. I'm so happy that it will feature prominently throughout the rest of this episode.
Why was that in Chile and not in, like, Dallas, Texas?
Thank you, right? Awesome. I'm just impressed that Chile had something called, I'm sure it was probably called something, like, way better there, like something actually in Spanish, and it meant something, but no. True Blue Saloon's what we're going with.
The Cool Azul Saloon. Look, you don't have to, Nathan, you don't have to say anything.
We established that French was your damn language of choice. Spanish was the one that I chose 4 years of not learning. Leave it to the professionals.
I substituted true for cool because
You
I couldn't
really
think of a
did.
Spanish
You just
word.
made it up. You put one Spanish word in there and called it a day.
All words are made up.
It's not untrue. But this fight left two sailors, Charles Riggin and William Turnbull, dead.
Oh boy, I'm surprised anything could kill William Turnbull.
Really? Yeah, Billy Turnbull, heart of gold, jaw of glass, dead in Chile.
Mustache had a mustache.
Absolutely had a mustache. So why did a simple bar fight, which, come on, it's the 1890s. How is a bar fight even... Why are we talking about this? Why is this a thing? Because it almost started a goddamn war between Chile and the United States, and that's kind of a big deal.
Ooh, juicy. Lay it on me.
I'm gonna lay it. Well, technically me and Bernardito are gonna lay it, but, Bernardito's co-piloting this episode. Here we go.
Lay those knowledge bricks right on me.
I'm gonna build you a big old knowledge wall. Build that knowledge wall, we say. So the United States had formally been neutral in the Chilean Civil War. And this is a time when that wasn't air quoted. This is a time where you could say something like the United States was neutral in the Civil War and everyone didn't just go, bullshit. But again, we're getting there. Despite this, it was kind of clear that we were backing a horse or kind of really preferred someone to win. And the ultimate victors of this war were the side that we didn't back. And so that was awkward. A reason for this was that the rebels, the Congressionalists, as they were called during the Civil War. Now, if there is... Also, come on, if you're going to be rebels, you can't be called the Congressionalists and be the rebels.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be fancy. You're the rebels. You want to be like the Freedom Fighters
Something.
or...
The Contras, maybe. Oliver
The
North,
Contras, sure,
new president
sure.
of the NRA. God. They were perceived as being more inclined towards European powers, and as not as friendly with American policy in the continent. And probably rightfully so, because if you are living in America's backyard, you know how much our shit does stank. and you probably don't want to hang out with us very much. So
Yeah.
America obviously was supporting the side that was pro-United States policies, trading with us. But that's how it goes. Additionally, the United States ambassador to Chile, Mr. Patrick Egan, actively supported the Chilean government during the Civil War. So there's kind of throws out that whole neutrality thing, but he's an ambassador. They're the actual government. I get it. Like, maybe he could play that off, but we all know what pony the Americans wanted to win. So, needless to say, there was a little bit of tension there right after the Civil War ended, because it's like, hey, guys, we totally didn't want you not to win. Fuck, how are we going to play? All right, well, we'll deal with it now. So, that's the backdrop to our dead boys, when Billy Turnbull and Charlie Riggins are murdered outside the True Blue Saloon. So immediately after this, it didn't look like there was going to be a war about this. As well, there shouldn't be, because it's two dead dudes in a bar fight. Why would that start a war? The United States accepted the fact that the incident would be investigated by the Chilean authorities. All right. But, as judicial investigations do, it took too long in the eyes of the Americans, and we kind of got bored. Because our attention span, even back then, was fucking nothing.
And for a culture without TV yet, you figure we would have practiced the ability to pay attention longer, because back then all you had to do was just look at the river and not want to die.
Yeah, and the problem was we didn't have Law and Order yet to convince us that every judicial investigation should be wrapped up in an hour with Jerry Orbach throwing witty one-liners at us. So it's a little stranger, yeah, for sure. But obviously the investigation took too long. They were taking their time investigating, and we don't cotton to that bullshit. And at the same time, Captain Winfield Scott Sly, commander of the USS Baltimore, carried on his own investigation.
Oh, that Sly bastard. What a fucking name.
Really, honestly, yes. Winfield Scott Sly is a bad...
Is everybody a goddamn Clue character in this game?
I mean, pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
All right.
But the commander of the Baltimore carried out his own investigation, and guess what his conclusions were?
They weren't good. They weren't good, I don't think.
This was not a random bar fight. No.
Oh.
This was premeditated, and Chile was to blame.
Oh my god, assassins!
These conclusions were sent to Assistant Secretary William Wharton, who not only accepted the conclusions, but circulated them throughout the government, because why not? Ultimately, Sly's conclusions came the conclusions of our sitting president. Everyone knows who that was in 1890s, right? 1892 president? Benjamin Harrison. Here he is.
Thank you for saying it for me.
Benny Harrison. No, we all knew. It was fine. But those conclusions were the Chilean judicial investigation was a failure. The Chilean perpetrators, and by extension the Chilean nation, were guilty and needed to be punished for their crime, and if not, the United States would take action. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural Americans Get Pissed and Blame an Entire Country for Random Acts of Violence Fest. It's an unwieldy title, but god damn it, the hits just keep on coming, because we're on year 4,000 of that, it feels like at this point.
Benghazi!
Yeah! Oh my god. I just love it wasn't a bar fight, it was a fight that the Chilean nation had to answer for. Part of the movie Roadhouse happens.
Because the Chilean government definitely had a few priorities after their civil war, and the first one was find a dude who has the most stereotypical name for his appearance, and just murder him outside a bar.
I mean, they definitely would have wanted to get in a fight with a pretty powerful, at the time, not terrifying.
Well, look,
powerful.
they settled a civil war. I think they can take on one of the world's superpowers.
We're not a superpower at this point. Again, this is Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne.
Oh, my bad.
This is just
my bad.
A guy
I forgot.
with a
We're still
shitty
training
coat and a bad gun. Yes, no,
we're still training with Ra's al Ghul. My bad.
Training with Ra's al Ghul, still getting where we need to go. So what follows next is a direct quote from President Harrison's annual address to Congress on December 9th, 1891. I am going to read it verbatim. It's going to be painful, bear with me. This government is now awaiting the result of an investigation which has been conducted by the criminal court at Valparaiso It is reported unofficially that the investigation is about completed, and it is expected that the result will soon be communicated to this government, together with some adequate and satisfactory response to the note by which the attention of Chile was called to this incident. If their just expectations should be disappointed or no further needless delay intervene, I will, by a special message, bring this matter again to the attention of Congress for such action as may be necessary.
The past 20 seconds have been totally unnecessary.
Christ. Okay, one, that was unnecessary. Dear Christ. Holy cow. That was the I don't even understand. I read that sentence 4 times. I still don't know what the fuck he was saying. I don't know. Like, if this guy needed Hemingway to economy of language, and just shake him. Shake him till he dies.
10 words or less. Make it count, please,
boom.
God.
You know what he needed? He needed Twitter. Benjamin Harrison would have fucking sucked at Twitter. That's why. Yeah, you can imagine Trump getting out here? That would have taken like 14 tweets. That'd be insane.
Subtweet after subtweet after subtweet. Oh, God.
No. Chile, bad. Chile, every bad. Congress need act. Bad now.
I support caveman president. If the look, we have one of the worst literacy rates, I think, as far as global superpowers go. Nowadays, I know we're not there yet. We're still training out in the frozen pond. But today, God, if we could just numb down the State of the Union into no more definite articles, I feel like we would get so... Oh, God, the people would finally be caught up with political affairs. It would make so much sense.
This was considered a severe response at the time. Now, if you just listened to that and considered it severe, I don't know. I don't know if there was inflection that I'm missing or something, but as far as I could tell, it was unintelligible, let alone severe. But it was severe at the time, because this was an election year. And old Benjamin Harrison couldn't look like a weak-ass punk bitch. So this jingoism was commonly explained. It's just a, election year hype. You gotta get the people riled up. There's another explanation, though, and it's very relevant to our times. Yellow journalism.
I know what that word means in historical context, and I don't...
Yep.
I don't like where this is going.
Spencer, you've taken some journalism classes over your time.
Sure have.
You have. So yellow journalism. So what? Am I wrong in assuming that yellow journalism is just 1890s fake news?
Yeah, that is exactly what that means.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that means.
Yeah.
Evil CNN, devil man, wolf blitzer. Fake news, all of it. Fake news.
So basically,
anything you don't like to read.
This
pretty
is
much. Yeah.
So when I'm saying this is America's origin story, I'm not lying. We've got all the hits here, people. We are intervening in other people's civil wars. We're making shit up and lying to people about it. It's the greatest hits.
Time is a flat circle. We've pretty much we peaked in high school, and we have been trying to recapture our youth, and it's not going well.
Not going well. Not going well. No, at all. So readers in the United States were constantly being barraged with headlines about impending war with Chile and Chile preparing for war. And strangely enough, the Chilean Navy was painted out as a very powerful threat and something that we had to be very concerned of, which, again, they're a large coastal country. That would make sense.
I was going to say, I would believe it. They're like 95% coast. They've got to have a good navy.
You'd think.
Otherwise, you're just going to get gobbled up by the big boat boys.
The reality of the matter is that Chile was kind of not ready to fight a naval war against the United States because, they just got done with that whole Civil War thing, and that actually involves some boat battles.
Well...
So, during 1892, things would get worse. They'd get worse, of course they would. The results of the Chilean investigation did not please Mr. Harrison, the good president, since it was revealed that the incident had not been planned and was, in fact, just a drunken fight outside of a bar frequented by sailors looking to get drunk.
Now, believable as that may be, have we considered the crazy bullshit?
Yeah, we've considered it. Oh, we've considered it heavily. We're about to start a war over it, almost.
Have we thought about the fact that that's more fun?
I feel like, again, that's all we have to cling to anymore. So, yeah. So, additionally, even more upsetting to good President Harrison, an American sailor was actually given a prison sentence for his involvement in the, giant brawl that left people dead.
people culpable for their actions. What the fuck? This is not the country I know.
Exactly. So, if that was not bad enough for President Harrison, the Chilean government also took the step to request the removal of Patrick Egan, that American ambassador that was totally supporting the wrong side of the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously things are not going great here. And so what do you do when things aren't going great in the 1890s? Well, Secretary of State James Blaine sends a strongly worded telegram. That's what you do.
Oh, no. Oh, no. This is the tweet. If only everybody in the country got a copy of that telegram, then it would just be ye olde Twitter.
God, you're not wrong. National pride was at stake, ladies and gentlemen. National pride was at stake. And he demanded an apology. If he didn't get that apology, we were going to sever diplomatic ties with Chile.
Ooh, say it ain't so.
I'm saying it's not so. And to reiterate this demand, President Harrison gave a special address to Congress.
Oh boy, are we going to hear it in its 5,000 word entirety?
You're going to hear it in its entirety. Strap in, strap on, here we are. On the 21st instant, I caused to be communicated to the government of Chile by the American minister at Santiago.
Nope, we're a sentence in and it's already way too many words.
Not a sentence
way
in.
Too many words.
There hasn't been a period yet. Not even a comma.
No! God damn it.
And when you interrupt me, I have to start over. I can't finish if I don't keep going.
Oh,
On the 21st instant, I caused to be communicated to the government of Chile by the American minister at Santiago. The conclusions of this government, after a full consideration of all the evidence and of every suggestion affecting the matter, and to these conclusions I adhere. Period. They were stated as follows. First, that the assault is not relieved of the aspect which the early information of the event gave to it. These, that the attack upon the uniform of the United States Navy, having its origin and motive in the feeling of hostility to this government and not in any act of the sailors or any of them. Translation.
We have yet to hit the second period.
Period. Second.
Now, Nathan.
Yep.
Oh, thank God. I was going to say, are the periods checkpoints? Do we have to go all the way back to the beginning, or
second?
Is this
that the public authorities of Valparaiso flagrantly failed in their duty to protect our men, and that some of the police and of the Chilean soldiers and sailors were themselves guilty of unprovoked assaults upon our sailors before and after arrest. The president thinks the preponderance of evidence and the inherent probabilities lead to the conclusion that Reagan was killed by the police or soldiers.
Ooh. Now, I don't know if I draw the same conclusion between those two sentences, Mr. Harrison, who I'm speaking to via time machine, but, I caused to be bored as fuck by your incredibly lengthy sentences.
Third, that the president is therefore compelled to bring the case back to the position taken by this government in the note of Mr. Warden on October 23rd last, and to ask for a suitable apology and for some adequate reparation for the injury done to this government.
Is he speaking in third person? I don't...
Yeah, no, he's The Rock. Benjamin Harrison's The Rock. That's the end of it. That's the end of his address. Long story short...
thank God there were only 3 points.
Long story short, this couldn't possibly have been not a premeditated assault, because that's what it is, damn it, and evidence be damned, is basically the entirety of this argument.
There is no substance to that giant essay you just read at me.
There is no substance to any of this. Again, it's the story of America.
No ideas or arguments were conveyed. I'm just so glad to know that we sounded smart, but we were really fucking dumb still. That's nice to know. That's nice to know. It's nice to know that we haven't really devolved, just the vernacular's kind of changed.
We have distilled it down to its essence, is all we've done.
That's the word. Quadruple distilled since 1776.
This is concentrate.
Please,
this is
continue to enrage me.
Concentrate, ladies and gentlemen. The United States was very close to declaring war on Chile. Let that sink in. 2 dudes died in a bar fight, and we were close to declaring war on a sovereign nation.
Well, Nathan, I mean, we got to bring it home for the boys back home.
You say that. The boys were just sitting on a boat, and they got off the boat and got drunk. It's not like they were fighting a war. They were just there chilling, watching, got off the boat for one goddamn day and started a bar brawl.
Yeah, well, has Chile considered that these colors don't run?
Apparently not. No one had given them...
No,
Toby
they
Keith
didn't.
had not shown up and put a boot in anyone's ass.
Nope.
So, yeah, here we go.
They treaded on us, and now they're going to pay the price.
The United States was close to declaring war on Chile. What solved this crisis? Was it Americans coming to their senses?
Probably not.
Probably not. No. Was it someone within the U.S. government coming up with a compromise solution that helped everybody?
Probably not.
Absolutely the fuck not. It was the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Luis Pereira, from Chile. Pereira saw that Harrison was a psychopath and pushing the two countries towards war over literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And acting swiftly, he did what every smart person does. He apologized to the rich, dumb idiot for the thing he absolutely didn't do in order to keep them from coming in and murdering a bunch of people.
Okay. Wow.
Chile apologized, despite arguably and demonstrably being in the right, and ultimately paid reparations at an estimation of $75,000.
Excuse me?
Yes.
How many hundos did you just say?
$75,000.
That's too much money to pretend that the other side's not a giant dumb baby.
Yeah, but I mean, $130,000. I mean, $130,000 is nuisance money apparently.
And that's in 1890s monies, right?
It is. Yeah, it's and again, from a country, a South American country coming off a civil war, probably not an expenditure they needed. Probably could have used that to pay for, I don't know, infrastructure, healthcare, all sorts of things.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
But the Baltimore
they
crisis
should have thought of that. Should have thought of that before they quarreled with the up and coming mafia of the world.
Yeah, but you got to get your protection money somehow. Be a shame if you're a nice little coastal country got kneecapped. So,
God damn it.
Again, ladies, this is the story of how America became to be America. At this time, this was the first time, well, not necessarily the first time, but one of the first times that we stepped out on that world stage and said, hey, we're assholes, and we're proud of it, and we're going to double down on it every single time. America.
I would love to see the jazzy tunes that were written to commemorate this event. The Toby Keith of their time. I would love to know what ballads were written to commemorate this terrible act of bullying.
Yeah. So, if you know nothing else of Chile, ladies and gentlemen, you now know they were the first nerds that America bullied on the block.
Well, Nathan, I always appreciate the context, the origin story to say, I just watched Infinity War recently. It was a fantastic Marvel film. It's kind of ruined movies for me in the sense that I can no longer enjoy films that don't have 18 films of build up to them.
Wow, that's a high standard.
I've ruined myself. Yeah, I can no longer enjoy media essentially, and I'm doomed to misery.
That statement is going to age so poorly, and I'm going to enjoy it so thoroughly when it does.
Well, Nathan, I just cannot wait to see how these timelines meet up. I want to see peak America, and I can say genuinely, Donnie Don is not peak America.
No!
It's gonna get worse.
No.
There is worse.
No, this is nothing yet. We have not anywhere close to peaked on our insanity.
When Dale Earnhardt IV runs for president in 2020.
Wait, 2012? Holy shit, they gotta start popping up quick.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And the GOP's not gonna back Donnie for re-election. They're gonna be so on board with Dale Earnhardt IV. Yeah.
Honestly, could they just get regular Dale's corpse? Like, couldn't we just get the Intimidators?
Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s mummified corpse could in fact win the GOP primaries at this point. The party's a fucking joke. This country's a joke.
Oliver North is the president of the NRA. The rules
Life
don't
doesn't
matter.
make sense.
We're making this up.
We're in the Bizarro universe. Here's the thing. Truth is stranger than fiction, and that makes a lot more sense the more you think about it. Because if I ran this country as like a fucking D20 modern D&D campaign, my players would fucking flip the board and say, this is bullshit. None of this is believable. I'm leaving. You're railroading it. This is the most chaotic thing I've ever played.
A decade ago,
Nathan,
Patton Oswalt thought the craziest thing, the Bizarro universe, was that George Bush was president. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger being governor. That was insanity. What the fuck has happened? Those are the good old days, apparently, now. We've normalized war criminals, for fuck's sake.
We had a recall back in Patton's day during that bit. He also alludes to a big spinach ordeal where spinach was poisoned because we had a giant outbreak.
Again!
That fucking happened again. Romaine lettuce is killing people.
We're going in circles, people.
I feel like we had a divergent timeline, and there was a B universe where shit was wacky, you know, where Paris Hilton was allowed to exist, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor of California. We are in the B universe of that B universe.
Oh my God.
Where things have gotten...
I've watched Back to the Future 2. I've watched Back to the Future 2. I would take Biff running the world at this point.
We already have Biff running the world.
We basically do.
Competent.
Why is no one put
far
that
less
together
competent?
yet?
I mean, I feel like, okay, look, we can talk about our endless frustrations, but that is, I think, the crux of this podcast is bringing out our deepest angers and giving them to the public's ears. So, Nathan, do you want to thank the people before we go too far off on the soapbox?
I would love to thank people before we devolve into whatever screaming nightmare the end of these episodes become for us.
No more definite articles.
No, that's basically what we're getting at here. Again, just to reiterate, before anyone thinks I did any work for this goddamn episode, all credit to this goes to, again, Mr. David Painter and anonymous man Bernardito from Reddit r Ask Historians, for basically Painter for pointing me to this episode and Bernardito for doing all the writing for it. I just yelled about it in what I hope is an entertaining way. I'd also like to thank the Driftless Pony Club, because I don't get to do it enough, and god damn it, that, they let us use their song, There Were Buffalo on the Ark, off the album Cholera. And just, there were Buffalo on the Ark, and that album is good, and you should listen to it. After you listen to This Is America like 20 more times, because, dear God, the song's great.
Pretty good. Pretty good song. Also, I'd check out I'm Not Racist. That one's pretty good.
That one's difficult. Yeah, if you bump up
it's
that
hard.
YouTube, you bump up that YouTube, you get real angry for a minute before you realize there's gonna be a turn. But yeah, that's a hard one to listen to. Mm-hmm. That's some difficult shit.
Yeah, you gotta get through the first 4 minutes, and then you're like,
yeah.
And then that's pretty much the noise you make for the rest of your life, because this is the life you live in.
This has been awkward white dudes trying to appropriate black culture moment for this week. Welcome. I acknowledge I'm bad. I'm trying to get better. I don't know how.
Look, Nathan, I've had my cultural awakening. You just wait until next week when I'm ready to unleash my manifesto.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. When Spencer comes back...
I'm ready to appropriate the struggles of everybody.
Spencer is coming back into Dashiki. This is not going to be good for anybody. I apologize in advance. I am trying to be the spiritual anchor to this podcast and keep us on the straight and narrow, but it's getting hard. Also...
I'm thinking about checking out Tumblr next week. What do you think?
Oh, no, get the fuck off of that. Oh, God. Apologies to the Romani. It has been brought to my attention, and by brought to my attention, I mean I absolutely remembered it, and I'm just a fucking idiot, that I may have yelled a very, very not nice slur towards that group during an episode about some schnapps. Mea culpa, I apologize. That's me. Try to own that, but I'll be better next time.
You know what? We can only evolve as people. We gotta try. You gotta call us out when we do bullshit. You know a good way to call us out? There's this review section.
Do that! Call us out in the reviews! That's a good... Oh, I like that tie back. Yeah, call us out in the reviews.
You can first... There's a 5-star rating system, right? Now, you might have predispositions based on what we've yelled about your race. You can start, though, by just rating us on, like, a general, content quality scale. And then in the review, maybe as a PSSSS, you can say, hey, by the way... Maybe don't say the gypsies thing.
Yeah, maybe don't yell that horrible, offensive slur about our people.
But you know what? That's just one of many things that we're working on as a fan base and as content creators. And you know what?
Oh, if you ever use that word to fucking describe what we're doing again, I will come across this table and slap you.
It's the most broad terminology.
It is the most douchey way to describe screaming into the ether for our own enjoyment ever. Don't call it that.
Oh, we've devolved into rambling. All right. Thank you. Tune in to next week.
Bye.
We love you all.